For those who are not up to speed with these things, this here is what is called habitat. An awful lot of farmers spell it M-E-S-S. But what you've got here is a complex ecosystem which is maintained. Bit of winter cover here at the moment for certain things that we've got here, and then in the spring rushes and stuff will be cut back and there'll be grass here, and cattle will come on and they'll do their part in maintaining this complex, wonderful ecosystem. And that's the way it is with our natural world. It's complicated, remarkably complicated, and you'd only need to change a few very small things to mess the whole job up altogether. And that's true of the whole planet. There are a few things in the order of creation which really, if they weren't as they are, there wouldn't be life on Earth. Now, I remember being a student, and yes, I've got a long memory, because as an undergraduate student I was involved with a lot of very bright young people who were finding all manner of reasons to believe that there wasn't a God. And one of the things we used to say with them was, you know, the order of creation is such that it gives you an indication, an evidence that there must have been an intelligent designer behind it. There must have been, and we'd say, a God, you see. And they kept saying back to me, ah yes, but we're only a short time away from promulgating unified field theory. Let's face it, you can tell from the state of my hairline that we've been a long time waiting for that unified field theory that gives us the answer to why things are created the way they are, with such fine balancing points that make the world happen at all. I've just been looking at an article in the New Scientist magazine, and that's saying that if you tot all the numbers up in standard models for the universe, you end up with about 30 variables that if they weren't as they are, they just are, then things wouldn't exist the way they are at all. There wouldn't be life and planets and everything else. Just those 30 things, variable constants in the universe, which if they weren't held in balance, we'd be an absolute stuck. We wouldn't be able to be here at all. Alter the relative strengths of gravity and electromagnetism just a tiny little bit, and planets and galaxies wouldn't be able to form at all. Flip the tiny difference in the mass of protons and neutrons, and there would be no atoms either. Now, it isn't a big leap from here to come to the conclusion that the knobs have been twiddled, that the universe has been fine-tuned. Otherwise, I wouldn't be standing in this field in this beautiful autumn day, this lovely sunshine, talking to you about this either. Those cattle through the hedge there, they spent their first frosty night out on pasture, and they're still filling their bellies with grass again to ferment in their rumen and warm them up. But they slept last night under very clear and starlit skies. Not a cloud about. We live in an area of very low light pollution, and they would have had a great view. Unaware of what the scientists are saying, and unaware of the glories of the universe, as far as we know, all around them. Fine-tuned universe, which, but for a few variables being in the right place, the knobs having been correctly twiddled, those cattle wouldn't be standing there eating grass at all. Of course, the scriptures are full of people who are living in a natural environment, not this type, but a Palestinian one, and they are overawed by the wonder and the splendour of creation, just as we still are, because there isn't a unified field theory around out there to explain it all, apart from a creator who's done all this. When I consider the heavens, the work of your hands, what is man that you are mindful of him? Says Psalm 19, declare the glory of God. Of course they do. It's all finely balanced, and it wouldn't be here without him at all. And the fact that there is a God who can make such a complicated setup as we've got here, in spite of all our efforts to trash the planet, holding it and keeping it, sending us little warning signals and sometimes loud ones. But apart from that, apart from one, putting it together, holding it together, sustaining it, upholding it by his powerful word, then things wouldn't be as they are. Now that dream of a unified field theory is a very recent innovation, and it hasn't lasted very long. But the solution of the psalmist and all those Old Testament saints back in Bible times, all the way through till today, folk have looked at this fine-tuning in creation and they've said, God is glorious. He is to be admired, to be inspired by, to stand in awe of, and to worship. Our era is low on awe, dissatisfied with its materialism, eager to find if there might possibly be something beyond our own material existence that explains it and holds it together. There is an explanation in the Christian scriptures which has lasted a very long time. That God has made this, that He has put us here in a world that has been broken, that has much that we've done to it and much that's been disrupted in its systems and operations, but that still by His mercy and grace abides and continues. And generation after generation of people has found their place in the world, their place in creation, as they've learned to turn from the sin that would keep us from Him, trust Him, live lives of fellowship with Him, worshipping the one who has made all these things. There's my word for the week. The heavens declare the glory of God. Bless you. Enjoy His creation if you can this week. Have a good week, rejoicing in the fine-tuning of God's universe.